Welcome back to the Humbug vlog. This has been a week of not a lot of overly exciting things to record. A lot of things that have happened that, while they're important to the show, they don't make for a very good vlog. This was also a crazy week in the studio. A lot of clients needing letters of recommendation, onboarded 2 new people, scheduling guests for the green room, just a whole bunch of stuff. So all of that on top of course, working on A Christmas Carol, working on Shrek, working on the name game. It's been a little crazy. So I thought I would show you some of the stuff that I have. It's going to be a little bit more of a talking head one. One of the things that's been a huge project this week is starting to figure out the technical stuff for the show. All of the lights, the cables, the control systems, all of that stuff has been ordered. I was hoping to include it in the episode, but the stuff hasn't shown up yet. Had to actually replace the order because something happened with the truck and delivery. I don't know. That's what I was planning on showing in this episode, were the moving lights and the LEDs and all that stuff. But, best laid plans and all of that. One of the big challenges with this show is figuring out the roadmap of everything that has to happen, what the feel of this show is, and designing the show. Set designer, the lighting designer, the projections designer, the sound designer, doing all the actual acting and all of that, and figuring out what this show is. And I've realized that I need to start practicing knowing when cues are going to happen. I have been putting together spreadsheets. The stage manager in me is loving all of these spreadsheets. So this right here is the spreadsheet plot for the sound effects in Act 1. It's 6 pages right now. The last number for Act 1 is Q 100. Granted, this does include all of the fade outs and things, but yeah. There's a lot of sound cues in A Christmas Carol. Dickens created a very vivid world, and trying to create that world in sound is a challenge. There's also a lot of special effects for the ghosts, and when the ghosts do things, even though there aren't chains on stage, every time Jacob Marley moves, chains are going to rattle in some way. You're going to hear the chains move, and figuring out on what lines all of that happens, knowing when I have to cue them. So I took this one and I started creating the master plot, which is all of the cues as I know them right now for the show. This one is also 6 pages, and this one's just right now through the end of Scrooge's counting house. The spreadsheet thing is really important because it's helping me know which ones I have to actually control manually from the device that is allowing me to cue everything, but also which ones happen at the same time. So which light cues, sound cues, projection cues can all occur at the same time, which ones are linked together so that one happens and then there's a whole sequence of them that goes. Figuring out what cues have to start at a certain level and then fade out. There are moments where Scrooge hears sounds and then opens his door, and I wanted to have the cues actually show that. Also knowing exactly when all of that is going to happen in how fast or how slow I say the dialogue means that there are actually multiple cues stacked on top of each other that have to do certain things at certain times. It's a very complicated, technical ballet. It's important that that is starting to happen now, because I need to learn when I start cueing things, and is it possible for me to hit the remote in that moment, or do I need to actually build in delays to some of the cues for those things to happen? That's where we're at. So it's a lot of playing around and figuring out how this show works. Whole other challenge with this show is marketing the show. People know A Christmas Carol and people know Charles Dickens, but I think this whole show feels unusual. People I know are a little uncertain of the online thing. So the idea that it's streamed. I've had conversations with people lately that have talked about watching shows over Zoom and how disappointed they are, and trying to explain to people that this is not just like me sitting here talking to you. There are multiple LED lights, there are multiple moving lights, there's fog, there's snow, there are projections. This is literally probably going to be like watching a Broadway bootleg on YouTube. I'm not going to say that like all the tech is going to be the quality of Broadway. That's not what I'm saying. That's the goal. But obviously I have a much smaller budget than Broadway. But the goal is that it's still like you're still seeing a professional show with all of the special effects that are happening. You're just watching it over video rather than actually being in the space. It's exactly the same as watching a show in the theater. You're just not in the theater with me. A deadline that I gave myself for building everything for the show is October 31st, so Halloween, and it's close. I realized that there were things that I wasn't going to be able to do until I put the set up. Those are things that I had planned on doing before, but just looking at how the set is all put together, it's going to be easier to actually do it during load-in, which is actually not that far away. I will be well into tech rehearsals a month from the posting of this video, which is a little nerve-wracking, but everything is basically done. I have a couple small projects left to do. I have to build the snow machines and I have to build the platforms for the shadow boxes, but everything else is done, which is pretty cool. I'm on schedule, which is good. I was worried things got a little behind this week, but I think I got caught back up. So now it's just getting people interested in the show, getting them to want to see the show, and buying tickets, because it's kind of the whole point of doing the show is to have an audience. Yeah, that's that. That's what I have. This is a little bit of a shorter vlog and a whole talking head. I know next week will actually be really cool because I'm going to do a full day in the life video. So it's going to be from the start of my day, doing all the kind of office-y stuff, to seeing clients, to I'm doing a workshop with some pedagogy students, and I'm going to kind of include a little bit of that in the video, and then I'm going to show you kind of that last final push of getting everything done for the set and the props and all of that. So that will be a fun video. Check that out. That'll come out next week. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. As always, buy tickets. The link is down in the description box below. And yeah, have a great week. You're awesome. Be awesome. And I will see you soon.